Welcome to So You Want to Be a Certified Coach. This is our free informational webinar that we do on a regular basis. So we usually have small groups to make sure you can get any of your questions answered. My name is Greg Reinauer. I am one of the course leaders here, one of the mentor coaches, and I'm also the director of admissions. So I get the pleasure of really supporting people who are interested in the program, get clear if it's a fit for them. The purpose of our time together is for you to see what being a professional coach is all about and to see if the Academy for Coaching Excellence, or ACE, is the coach training program for you out of the many, many coach training programs out there. You'll learn our philosophy around professional coaching, discover a pathway to becoming a masterful coach, answer common questions about our program, get pricing and next steps for your training, see the usual timeline for your professional certification. So I want to start with, why does ACE exist? So ACE is one of the oldest accredited, ICF accredited coach training programs out there. We've been around for almost 25 years now. And around the time that ACE was formed, our founder, Dr. Maria Nemeth, who's a PhD psychologist, was really called to go a different direction than therapy. And there was this new industry coming out called coaching. And she saw that coaching is really as powerful as psychotherapy. It's just a different context. And saw that because it was so powerful, she really wanted to create a space where people could get really thorough training so that they knew they could handle anything that would come up with their clients. And thus we formed the Academy. We've been training thousands of coaches over the last couple decades, and we're going to go over some of the things that make ACE different than some of the many, many other programs out there. But really, it's a calling to train masterful coaches because we see how powerful personal transformation through coaching can be. So let's look at, from ACE perspective, what does a coach do? This might help as well. We're talking earlier about the distinction between coaching and therapy. So number one, a coach helps the client see what matters most to them. A lot of times people think coaching is all about helping people maximize their productivity or do more in their life. But oftentimes when people come to coaching, they're already doing a lot. And what they want is a sense that they're using their energy on what's most important to them. So the biggest piece of that first is getting clear on what is most important in our lives so that we know that our actions have meaning. We're using our time well. And then from there, helping clients set goals that demonstrate this true meaning, helping them set clear goals so that they know they're playing for something rewarding. And if you've ever set a goal, a meaningful goal, you know that inevitably we hit something that's like a stopping point. These points where we either struggle or we turn back or we stop. And this is a key moment for a coach to come in, supporting people to really observe and notice what comes up at their natural internal stopping points and develop the skills to move past them so that they are spending less time talking themselves out of their dreams or wasting energy because they're struggling through. And then once they have some success, a coach is there to encourage their clients to celebrate even seemingly small successes. Because if you've noticed, our brains have something called the negativity bias, which means we're really good at looking at all of the things that aren't going right, that haven't happened yet, that maybe aren't going well, and minimizing the things that are going well. So a coach is there to support the client to celebrate their successes, because what it does is it actually retrains the brain to look for what's going well so that we can do more of it. So it's not just something that feels nice, although it does, but it is a key success skill set that a coach supports the clients to develop. So once again, as I go, if any questions come up, please feel free to just raise your hand. Let's look at what sets ACE apart. Here are 6 key points that set ACE apart. Our approach, our coaching approach, our model, which by the way has been developed for decades. So anything that doesn't consistently work to produce results with clients has either been taken out or updated. So what's left is something that is really reliable and refined. And it's an ontological approach. So what does ontological mean? Ontology is the study of being. It's different than psychology, which is the study of our thoughts, feelings, body sensations. Ontology is the study of who we are that has the capacity to observe our thoughts. So without going deep down a rabbit hole of the ontological philosophy, what it means here is that fundamentally we see you are not your brain and you are not your thoughts. You have a brain and you have thoughts, and who you are has the capacity to train your brain and to observe your thoughts. And as soon as you observe something, you experience that you are not that which you are observing. So what does this mean for coaching? It means that we train our coaches to really be present to who people truly are, that is greater than and separate than their worries, their doubts, their circumstances, their conclusions, any limiting beliefs, and to be really present to who people really are. So that in our presence, when we coach people from that place, they get to experience who they really are. They get to experience their own greatness, their own courage, tap into their own creativity and wisdom. And when you coach from that perspective, it becomes very easy to support someone to have a breakthrough in their life without having to work really hard, because we don't need to try to solve their problems or fix anything, but really interact with them in a way that calls forth their own innate greatness. So this is what we mean by the ontological approach. And even as you take the first course, ACE Foundations 1, Mastering Your Life, you'll get a chance to really experience, not just understand conceptually, what we mean by the ontological approach. Second, our program is universal. So there are other coach training programs out there that might be more specified. For example, this is a business coaching school or a health coaching school. And oftentimes when a school is very specified like that, the approach tends to be more prescriptive. Like these are the right approaches to having a successful business. Our approach, our ontological approach, is universal, meaning that the tools, the framework can be applied to any area of focus for your coaching practice. Now, throughout the program, we support you to identify where you want to focus your coaching, and you work with a mentor who has some experience in that area so that you can really effectively focus it. But the model itself can be applied in all different areas of focus. So we have in our program, we have relationship coaches, we have money coaches, creativity coaches, business coaches, all areas of focus that you're interested in. Some people come into the program already having a sense of what they're interested in. Others discover it as they go. So our approach is also pragmatic. What do we mean by pragmatic? Well, it's results-based. It's action-based. Coaching, we see in our approach, coaching occurs not when people have an insight or an aha moment, and those, of course, happen within a coaching session, but coaching has really only occurred from our perspective when people then are acting on that insight or that shift that they experience. So they are creating results in their life that have meaning, results that you can observe, that you can measure. This is what we mean by pragmatic. And in fact, all of our courses, that's also how we measure that you got what you came for out of the course, not just that you discovered some really interesting ideas and had some insights, but that you are experiencing different results in your life that you would love to be experiencing. So that's what we mean by pragmatic. It's also compassionate, meaning uh, we really acknowledge and respect the depth of human experience, different lived experiences, understand all it takes to be on your own hero's journey, and really treat people with the dignity and respect that they deserve, whatever's going on in their life. Um, in a similar way, we're socially conscious. If you've spent any time on our website, you'll notice that many of our coaches are really engaged in social change work, empowering other social change leaders. We have a nonprofit fiscal sponsor that we partner with our Empowered Together diversity and inclusion program. It's really just a kind of a part of our culture and the community here at ACE. And finally, it's transformational. Now, when we say transformational, specifically we mean transformation as it differs from change. See, many courses, many trainings, people talk about transformation, but really they mean change. You might change your approach, change your way of doing some things, change some habits, but there tends to be a sense that, well, I can always just change right back. And that's often what happens with these courses that we find. Our program, our approach is transformational, meaning you'll see some things, even in the first foundational course, which I'll talk about more later. That's the starting point for all of our coaches. We like to give people step-by-step ways to get immersed in this work before committing to the full program. But it means you'll see some things that you won't unsee. So just like the butterfly doesn't get to go back to being a caterpillar, once you see some things about the way your brain works, see some things about the way you've been viewing the world and experiencing the world, you won't unsee them. And so that's what we mean by transformation. And the beauty is the type of transformation you'll have will free up energy. Once you, for example, notice those internal stopping points, what comes up when you stop or struggle or turn back, you won't have to let that get in the way anymore. So that's what we mean by transformational. And then our coaches create this experience over time with their clients. So any questions about the ACE coaching approach and these 6 kind of elements of it? Okay, good. So a big part of coaching, once again, is envisioning, really getting clear about what we would love our lives to be about, what we would love to be creating, so that then we can take clear, meaningful action on it. So let's look a little bit right now. What would it be like for you to be a successful coach? Now, when I say successful, we have a particular definition of success here at ACE that our founder, Dr. Maria Nemeth, came up with. So I'd love to share that first. So we define success as doing what you said you would do consistently with clarity, focus, ease, and grace. Doing what you said you would do, not what anyone outside of you expects or what you should do, but what you have promised to do consistently, meaning not just when things go according to plan or when things are predictable, um, but regularly, reliably in your life. And then with clarity, focus, ease, and grace. Now, clarity, once again, seeing what is most important to you, being very clear about who you are and what you want your life to be all about. Focus, it's first focusing your brain. Okay, so you learn to train your brain to focus on what is important, focus on what allows you to move forward into possibility. And then once you focus your brain, then focusing your actions, focusing your energy so that you know it's being used to demonstrate what's most important to you in your life. Now, ease doesn't mean not working hard. You can work hard with ease. Ease means learning to take small, sweet steps based on what's clear to you so you know you're not wasting your energy, struggling unnecessarily. And then finally, grace in this context means experiencing the unearned or unexpected blessings that are around us always. And the gateway to grace is gratitude, being grateful. And we give you some ways to continue to practice gratitude regularly so you can experience being awake to all of these blessings around us. I just wanted to share that definition because it's kind of central to how we measure success here at ACE and with our clients. So look for yourself. What would it be like for you to be a successful coach? To have clients appreciate you so much that they eagerly refer others to you? What would it be like for you to begin and end the day energized at the opportunity to empower people? And the ontological coaching approach really is energizing. I remember when I first started coaching years ago, sometimes people would go up to me and say, okay, Risa, thanks for being here. We'll send you the recording and go be with your daughter. So people would come up and say, oh, that sounds exhausting. That sounds tiring. You know, you have to deal with people's problems all day and listen to their stuff. I said, well, no, actually, when I come out of a coaching session, I'm excited. I'm like lit up. It actually energizes me because it's so inspiring to be present to who people really are. The privilege of being alongside them as they really explore and take action on their most meaningful dreams. So, what would it be like for you to begin and end each day with that kind of energy? The privilege of getting to support people and see who they really are. What would it be like for you to be in a community that supports you 100% in your professional and financial success? Now, this is one other thing that I think sets ACE apart from many of the other programs out there, especially some of the really large global programs that train thousands of coaches a year, is we really uh, have created and foster a sense of community. We have a very active online community with a whole active chat forum where people are collaborating, asking questions. All of our mentor coaches and course leaders are on there, as well as students at all different areas of the program, and many, many graduates. And there's many ways this shows up. We do town hall live meetings. We do monthly mastermind sessions where people are developing their skills at enrolling clients. We really do value the sense of community. So ACE coaches are uh, always getting together for brunches and things when they live nearby locally. Um, and the community really wants each other to be successful. In fact, one of the best sources for people to get their first clients tend to be referrals from other ACE coaches. Because what tends to happen is people start to practice coaching, they're going through the program, they get very excited about it. They're talking to their friends and family, and inevitably some people get interested. Oh, that sounds great. I'd love to work with a coach. But the relationship is too close for them to take on as a client. So that's the natural thing to do is say, well, our relationship is too close, but guess what? I have all these colleagues who are great coaches. In fact, we have a separate channel on our chat. We use Slack for our online forum. We have a separate channel that's just for trading referrals, and people are using it all the time. And then finally, what would it be like for you to be earning the fees that reflect your rigorous training? Earning the fees that reflect one of the more rigorous training programs out there. And we do provide rigorous training. So you can confidently handle whatever a client brings to coaching. Once again, we see it as powerful as psychotherapy. So we want to know that by the time you graduate, you have the skills to really be able to handle confidently anything that a client might bring to you. So if you're looking for speed over quality, we're probably not the right school for you. This came up at the beginning of the conversation, but I'll recap it. Benefits of the ICF credentials. We are, of course, a level 2 accredited program through the ICF, which means when you graduate our program, you qualify for ICF credentials. Now, being a level 2 program means we actually train at the PCC level and we exceed all of the requirements for PCC training. However, we require 125 hours with your own clients in order to graduate, and ICF requires 500 hours with clients to get your PCC. So what that means is when you graduate our program, which is 1 to 2 years, I'll break down how the structure is, but you immediately qualify for the ACC credential because you have 125 hours, which is more than enough for ACC. And then if you continue working with clients and continue to track your hours, once you have 500 hours with clients, you can go back to ICF and get your PCC credential without needing any other advanced PCC training because you've already received that and actually been evaluated at that skill level. So some of the benefits of the ICF training: get worldwide recognition. It really is worldwide. One of the things, since we went all online in 2020, more and more we have people from all over the world joining our courses. So in a given Zoom room, we'll have people joining from China, Australia, South America, all over the US, Canada, England, all over the place. So in having students all over the world, we see that really is the gold standard recognized just about every corner of the earth. Acceptance with professional organizations and companies. More and more, as coaching becomes more recognized, more studies showing how effective it is, companies and organizations are hiring coaches to work with their teams. And the more that happens, usually the first prerequisite they look for is, do you have an ICF credential? It helps separate you as a professional with rigorous training. And even for folks who are focusing mainly on building their own business and working with one-on-one clients, clients who are looking for coaches are becoming more and more educated that there are people out there calling themselves a coach right now who have little or no training. And there are people who have gone through an accredited high-level rigorous program that's ICF accredited. So these are just some of the benefits of an ICF credential. So we recommend, even if you see that ACE isn't the program for you, that you really look for a program that is accredited with the ICF. So let's look at the structure, okay? And we break it down into 3 main steps, because once again, we like to support people to be able to experience this coaching model, experience what ACE is really like before committing to the full 1 to 2 year program. So step 1 is ACE Foundations 1 Mastering Your Life. It's a 4.5-day live online intensive. You can see we have sliding scale pricing. So it's completely self-selected on the sliding scale. We have 5 tiers ranging from $1,200 to $3,600. You choose based on what works for your budget. The course is the same no matter what tier you join at. We don't ask for any proof of income or anything like that. It's just one of the ways that we try to make it as inclusive as possible. So some people who can afford it pay more. That allows us to offer lower tiers for people who might not otherwise be able to afford a program like this. So the first course, it's all about first learning the underlying principles and tools that make up the foundation of our coaching model, but first applying them in your own life. And that's for a couple reasons. One, first of all, it gives you a chance to experience the model for yourself, experience what it's like being coached in this model before choosing to commit 1 to 2 years practicing and learning it and using it with your clients. But we also really believe that you cannot coach someone past a point you haven't gone past yourself. So it doesn't mean that you need to have done everything that the people you're coaching are up to, but it means that the skill set of using these coaching tools to move past your own internal stopping points is so useful to then be able to coach others to do that consistently. So this is what this first course is about, really having your own breakthrough first. And once again, it's a transformational course. You will see some things in this course that you will not unsee. For example, one of the uh, most transformational parts of this course that we hear every time we do it is on day 2, you'll have the opportunity to discover something called your basic assumption. Your basic assumption is like a decision that you made when you were only about 18 months old. We all have them. And it's sort of like running in the background your whole life. And it comes up every time we're doing something new or different and sort of whispers in our ear. And those are the moments where we stop or we turn back or we struggle. It's your fundamental tendency toward fight, flight, or freeze. And we go through a process on day 2 where you get coached and learn to observe what your basic assumption is. And the moment you see it, it no longer ever needs to get in the way and no longer ever needs to cause you to struggle unnecessarily or talk yourself out of something really important. So this is once again what we mean by transformation. As soon as you see it, you will never unsee it, and it never ever needs to be your personal limiter anymore. So this is the first course. You really get immersed in this. You get tools and skills you can practice for the rest of your life. And then you get a sense of, do I want to continue on and use this as my coaching model for my clients? The second course, by the way, the timing and the pricing is the same for the second course, same sliding scale. And it's called ACE Foundations to Being Coach. Once again, being is that ontological quality, really supporting you to, first of all, identify some of the things that we tend to project onto the people we're aiming to support so we can clear them away and be fully present to who someone truly is, the hero on their own hero's journey that we're seeking to support, and to interact with people so that in our presence, people experience their own greatness, tap into their own courage and wisdom to take action. One of the things that we like to say, especially in this second course, is what a person really wants when they come to a coach is for someone who the coach knows who they are, they knows who the client really is, and in their presence, they get to experience who they really are. So this is the foundation of the coaching approach that we teach. You also learn the main principles of ontological coaching. You learn to use the tools to empower others. So even if you're not moving on to become a professional certified coach, we've had ministers come through this course. We've had teachers. We've had mentors, consultants, leaders who want to use these coaching skills to empower others. So that's what you learn. And by the end of the course, you'll have gone through a couple complete practice coaching sessions using the model. So you really will have the foundation to start coaching people. And then, of course, you'll discover whether ACE is really the program for you because you'll have experienced being coached and then you'll experience coaching others in this model. So you can take each of these first 2 courses one at a time as the first 2 steps. And then if you are clear you want to move forward and become a professional certified coach, we have the professional coach training program, which is step 3. Now, as you can see, step 3 is a bigger step. It has a lot that kicks in with step 3. One is you can start earning money working with paying clients. So it's at this point you can start working to those 125 hours. You can earn money as you go. You're building up your business with your support of your community, your course leaders, and your mentors. You join our online coaching community, which I've talked about throughout. Just a very vibrant, supportive, wonderful community of brilliant coaches. We're there to collaborate, support each other, trade referrals. So you immediately join that coaching community. You meet with a small peer group twice per month for the remainder of the program. You get unlimited access to our student portal. That's lifetime access. It has everything from client handouts for any of the tools we have, sample contracts, training videos, all types of resources. We're always adding to it and updating. You have lifetime access to it. You start mentor coaching twice per month, one-on-one with a mentor coach. That's we have about twice as much one-on-one mentoring as some similar length programs because we see how essential it is to your learning process. There's two more core courses, advanced coaching course, a 4-day course, exactly what it sounds like, advanced coaching skills, a lot of practice, advanced tools to use specifically with your clients. I've already talked about the Art of Enrollment course. It's actually our biggest course because we see so often that people get all these great coaching skills, but then they're not supported and trained to go out and get clients. And we want you to do that in a way that is enjoyable, is meaningful, and is effective. Then you have a series of 2-hour weekly webinar sessions, 4 sessions on coaching and ethics, all of the ethical considerations of having a professional coaching practice, very important with being in the ICF guidelines, and then 14 weeks of a coaching skills group. So at this point, you're working with real clients, you're building your practice, and you're continuing to develop your skill with the support of your cohort. So I know we're about out of time, so I'll once again send this slide deck and the follow-up email. And I just want to go over the investment. So we have a sliding scale for this as well. So bottom of the sliding scale is 7,320. Top is 10,920. And we offer an 18-month payment plan so that you can pay as you go and you can sort of pay off your tuition as you're earning money as you go. So that at the bottom tier, that's $419 a month. Top tier, that's $625 a month. Once again, totally self-selected. And then the only additional investment is $250 a month paid directly to your mentor coach. So that covers 2 sessions a month, so $125 a session. And all of our mentor coaches are at least PCC, some MCC credentialed. All have built successful coaching practices and are experts in this model. So that $125 a session rate is actually much lower than any of them charge outside of the academy. We have crowdfunding support available. If you'd like to talk about crowdfunding, please get in touch with me. We have a free crowdfunding guide you can download. We have examples of past crowdfunding campaigns. We have a webinar on crowdfunding. We find that for coaches who crowdfund for part or all of their tuition, it actually can kind of jumpstart their practice because they're letting their community know what they're up to, why they're up to it, what calls them for being a coach, the difference they want to make in people's lives. So please reach out for me if you want to explore crowdfunding for part or all of your training. And then, as I mentioned many times, but I'll mention it one more time, you get to earn money as you go. And you set your own rates with the support of your mentor, and they tend to go up as your experience goes up.